Hey everyone, this is Sunita, and you're watching Sunita's English Adventure. I hope you all are doing awesome. So, in today's video, I had an amazing conversation with Titus, sir, a tutor on EnglishYaari. We discussed many interesting and useful things that will definitely help you improve your English. So, make sure to watch the video till the end. Learn English with some real time conversations. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Let's dive in now.
So, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Great
Good to see you again.
to see you again. This time very busy because lots of learners. So I have been on this chair for quite some time. Started at 6.
Mhm.
I took only a little break in between.
Uh-huh.
Just don't want to
Great.
reduce the hours because a number of learners keep coming and then they say that they are free in the mornings only. So what to do?
Hmm.
Just to cater to
Right.
them, just to be available for them. Yes, Sunita.
But I must tell you, you don't lose any chance to motivate us, right? So, yet another motivation you've just given us.
Thank you, Sunita. Yeah. So here, I heard some not so good things that happened in what is
Uttarkashi.
Uttarakhand, yeah,
Uttarkashi.
Uttarkashi. Were you in any way affected?
No, because it's very far from here. It's a complete different district. I'm from Chamoli, and Uttarkashi is a different district.
Okay.
So, yes, not affected, but
Mhm.
yes, I am totally with them. And
Mhm.
rescue operation is going on there. It's something normal in hilly areas. Sometimes, somebody gets affected, and the other time someone else. So it keeps on going here. It's a normal thing here.
Okay. Oh my. It's not actually a part of it, just a little bit. We also
Hmm.
experienced here, and it
Hmm.
happens to be in my own plot of land, actually,
Hmm.
because.
And here we get to hear this every day at some or the other place. It happens like massive landslides
Mhm.
or some other kind of natural disasters. Rainy seasons are always very risky here.
Mhm. Okay, so here, my plot of land, we had a little bit of landslide, and so we had to spend quite a lot of money. We have incurred
Hmm.
around 75,000 rupees only to build a retention wall
Right,
as an
right.
immediate measure
Hmm.
protecting
We have
our land.
faced a similar issue last year
Hmm.
at my maiden home, actually. So
Hmm.
a big part of land slided down actually because of
Okay,
the rains.
okay.
And then again for retention, I don't know what do we actually call it,
Hmm.
but yes, they made a strong wall to
Hmm.
stop the soil erosion, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, it cost a lot.
I think people call it retention wall, something that
Okay.
helps to retain. So retention wall, something like
Hmm.
that. Yes. All right. I was with Mr. Amrit Pal Singh. I cannot stop mentioning his name because he comes somehow or the other. This morning I was with him, and then he said something very sad happened. He looks very sad today. He looked very sad in the session. He said a 32-year-old person just collapsed who has been working with him and his own colleague. And he just
Hmm.
yesterday got into the company car that took him to the shopping area. But on his way to the shopping area, he just collapsed.
Because of cardiac arrest.
No,
Hmm.
what shall we say, no report yet to ascertain that
Hmm.
fact. And so
Hmm.
they have to wait because they have to wait for his parents' consent to do a postmortem
Hmm.
or to do an autopsy. So they are just
Hmm.
waiting. But then this man seems to be shaken. So in the morning we were just discussing how transient everything is, how fleet.
Right, right. It's truly devastating, but it has become so common these days. People are collapsing all of a sudden, like while dancing or maybe while playing, they simply collapse, you know? So it has become so natural, and we are not able to find any reason behind it. So life has become so fragile, more fragile than ever, I would say. So you never
Correct,
know. So that's why we always embrace our loved ones, because you never know, right?
correct.
By seeing
Oh,
all
this
these kind of situations.
Sunita, I think I have seen that too often in my life, in our life over here, because I was just having a little discussion on this very part of how transient our life is, how ephemeral our life is. how fleeting it is. Most of us put so much hopes on material things, and then we forget that there is something deeper than that. And so I
Mhm.
remember I took her back to the time, to the tsunami. Were you born? Were you there when the tsunami
Yes,
happened?
yes. I guess it was around 2005, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly 2004, December,
Four. Okay.
26th of
I was
December.
there. Hmm.
So we were direct victims of that. We were on an island in the Maldives. And so
Mhm.
my wife and I, our daughter was not with us. Luckily, she was in Kerala. But the two of us, we reached well in advance because those days ministry would send us the tickets. They would sponsor the entire travel would be taken care of by them. And so
Mhm.
the Republic of Maldives, they sent us a ticket. So we had to travel according to the date that they decided for us. Okay, so we couldn't participate in Christmas celebrations. We had to come away earlier than we had planned. Then we came away, and then it was on the 26th of December that this thing happened early morning. So,
I get goosebumps whenever somebody shares their own story that they have been a victim of this, and definitely you get a new life. You feel
yeah,
blessed when something of that sort happens, right?
that's true.
But we always hope that it shouldn't happen to anyone, but some or the other person has to be a victim of it, you know, because we simply can't avoid it. Natural disaster, natural calamities, it is going
Mhm.
to be there, and it's a part of nature, it's a part of life. So yes, we can just hope for the best, right?
Yeah, certainly. But sometimes we just wonder why this happens like this. Maybe you are the only one who was saved. Maybe like
Mm-hmm.
that lone victim, that lone survivor of the aircraft, the plane crash. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it happens like that. We were just sharing on those themes in my previous session also. Basically, these days, many learners they want to learn more extempore topics, spontaneous topics, and they just want to keep talking and talking and talking because they see in our area of expertise, we are very, very fluent. We are very comfortable. But to get out of that comfort and to become comfortable with English while we are outside the area of expertise, our expertise, that is a challenge. So most of them are very much interested in talking on very, very, what shall we say, very, very different topics. So today, for example, the topic that I shared with one of or most of my learners until now, today is World, what is it? World Malaria Day. World
Okay, is it World
Malaria.
Malaria Day today?
Yeah, it is World Malaria Day.
Okay.
How are you in your place there, Uttarakhand? Do you have lots of malaria cases or only few?
No, not really. But in Dehradun, I've been a victim of dengue once. So I
Ah,
can totally, before that, I was not aware how do people feel when they suffer from dengue. But that was the time when I actually felt it. I had been a
mhm,
victim of it. And
mhm,
your whole body,
mhm,
shakes. I
mhm,
mean, I mean, you feel extreme, you feel that intense fever,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
And then you don't feel like eating anything and you feel like you're going to die. That's the first
Correct,
thing
correct,
you
correct,
feel,
correct.
right? So I felt that pain, and your platelets also go down,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And even my little one, my elder son, he
Mhm,
also suffered from dengue, but
mhm,
it got very difficult for us to get him tested for
mhm.
that dengue.
Okay.
And it was definitely a task because he was
Mhm,
crying a lot that time, and somehow we got that injection or we got that test done on him, but that was very painful to see. So I was at a peaceful side, that it didn't affect my younger one. Like it
mhm,
was with my elder one that was again painful, but I was
mhm.
so at peace that it didn't happen with my younger one actually, because that was completely impossible for us to get him tested,
Okay.
right? Mm-hmm.
It is World Mosquito Day, not World Malaria Day, but of course, Anopheles mosquito that causes malaria. So, World Mosquito Day. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there are some precautions, right? Maybe mosquitoes we could prevent by applying certain repellents, mosquito repellents, such as Odomus
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So, I used to always take care of my baby, my daughter, when she was a baby. She was very small when we used to travel, especially by trains and all that. We would apply any exposed parts, like this part will not, the palm of your hand and on your face, we would not do that. But apart from that,
Hmm.
we give, and then that saves you for about 8 to 9 hours, or 7 to 8 hours protection. Yes.
Right.
So we deal on topics like this.
Hmm.
Today is World Mosquito Day. Yesterday was World Photography Day. The day before yesterday was Never Give Up Day. Give Up Day, and the day
Hmm.
before that was Happiness Happens Day. So
Okay.
go outside the box, like, and
Uh-huh.
then try to think out, and then begin to talk, give questions based on these, and then they seem
Right.
to be enjoying like that.
Hmm.
I think that is one way of, what shall we say, these days, in spite of the session notes that we have, give them
Hmm.
some topics like this, and then give them some questions like this. They're very happy to talk about such
Yes.
topics. And then, yes, coming back to this topic, you know, in our area of expertise, it becomes, for example, an IT professional to speak about everything that is IT. It is easy for him. For a CA person, it's easy to speak about accounts and other things. For a lawyer, easy to speak. So I think it is better that we speak on certain topics that are totally new to us, foreign to us. Okay, so that is how the learners are learning. All
Hmm.
right, and then Sunita, how about your? What else are you doing these days? Is there any one thing that you have started new in this month of August? I think I met you,
Hmm.
to be exact, on the 29th of last month, or on the 30th of
Hmm.
last month, right? Is there something
Yes.
new that you have become?
Yes, something very exciting. I have
Hmm.
recently started my new WhatsApp group
Uh-huh.
where I invite co-learners and fluent speakers and experts to be a part of
Hmm.
it. And they
Hmm.
practice their English with each other, and we provide sessions to them in
Hmm.
that WhatsApp group itself, like via Zoom or Google app. So that's
Hmm.
something new I have introduced in my life and in their life as well. And it is helping them a lot because they get kind of an environment where everyone has similar interest, they are working
Hmm.
on the same goal, so they get
Hmm.
motivated from each other, right? And they get sessions as well, so they get complete help in that WhatsApp group. So my
Hmm.
focus is totally on that group, and I have somehow reduced my focus on other things, but
Hmm.
yes, increased my focus here more.
Yeah, yeah. Great. I have an open invitation to a school here, a primary school. And then the principal is a friend of mine. And then she has asked me to go to help her out on every Monday from 10 o'clock
Hmm.
to 12 o'clock. And so Mondays from 10 to 11, she gives me primary one and primary two. And from
Okay.
11 to 12, she gives me primary three and primary four, and I don't know how to begin. This is the first time I am interested with a
Hmm.
group of students who are very, very small. Is there,
Right.
Sunita, is there something? I'll tell you one or two things that I'm trying to do, and then correct me if I'm not in the right direction. Like, for example, to handle bigger classes, it is easier. But then when it comes to very small classes like this, it's very difficult. So the first thing that I'm trying to do is just to make them greet each other, and then to learn hi, hello, how are you, and give them a lot of synonyms, especially synonyms of the word good, and then go with that. And that seems to be working. Along with that, also take words from certain nursery rhymes. See, for example, if
Hmm.
you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. So clap is a verb.
Hmm.
Snap your fingers. Snap is a verb. Pat your
Hmm.
thighs. Pat is a verb. And then stomp your feet. The stomp is a verb. So develop on those. So there, come up with the present tense and the past tense and the past participle and the future tense of that. These are two things. Then also make them sing nursery rhymes along with
Hmm.
the music that is provided. And slowly, slowly, when they sing, they are able to get some phrases of that particular rhyme stick in their mind, and they sing. And some, I don't know, for primary three and four, maybe I'm a little more,
Hmm.
it's possible for me a little better. But then when it comes to primary one and two, however hard I try to convince my principal, she doesn't give up on me. She says, Titus, just come and then be here and then do
Hmm.
what you can. Is there something else that we can do in primary one?
I
Primary
think
one and
you
two?
are doing quite well because rhymes
Yeah.
definitely works wonders because kids actually learn when they sing or when they
Mhm,
sing these rhymes. So they actually
mhm,
learn very faster.
mhm,
Even if I talk about my kids, So they learn through rhymes the verbs that
Mhm.
you were talking about, like stomp your feet or
Yeah,
touch your toes or wiggle
yeah,
your fingers. They've learned all these verbs from the rhymes that they were
correct.
taught in school or
Mm,
at home as well. So that's the best way to teach them. Plus, you have to be a bit creative with them or a bit friendly. Like it shouldn't
mhm,
be like a classroom training or a formal training, but you have to be friendly with them. Like the
mhm,
parents talk with their children, you have to talk in the same manner with them so that they could feel
mhm,
comfortable and they could learn more and more in that kind of environment. So
mhm.
yes, role play is also very effective when it comes to kids,
Okay.
because let's suppose if there is any festival, let's suppose Diwali
Yeah.
festival,
Mm,
so you can assign them some characters and
mhm,
get the dialogues ready with them and let
mhm.
them speak in any function or in any activity, right? So that would
Yeah.
also help them. That would improve their English. At the same time, they'll gain knowledge of
Okay.
Indian mythology, right?
Mhm,
So this is
mhm.
definitely going to work in that case. Plus, you have to do a lot of actions to make them understand, right?
Okay.
English,
Mhm.
basically. Like whatever you speak, you have to do a lot of actions with your hands, right?
Correct,
So
correct,
they'll
correct.
easily understand that things.
Mhm,
And what else? Yes, at the same time, you have to convince their parents to give them same kind of environment at home. Whatever
mhm,
they were taught
mhm,
at school, let's suppose good manners, so they
mhm,
have to imbibe all those, or they have to incorporate whatever they were taught in schools at home
mhm,
as well, if
mhm,
they were taught good manners, let's suppose. So they have to inculcate all those values at
mhm,
home also, right? So that's a complete holistic
mhm.
approach to teaching, I would say, right?
I'm
At
saying, yeah,
school and at
because
home as well.
yeah, you did tell me last time. I think you mentioned the fact that you are also giving a few classes, I think, to primary school kids, right? That's why I
No,
asked you.
not to primary
Mm.
school kids, but to beginners in English,
To
adults.
beginners in English. Okay,
Hmm.
okay. I don't know how far vocabulary will work with these people,
Hmm.
right? With my primary kids. One, two.
Hmm. I feel that we don't have to approach adults and kids in the same way. For
Mhm.
kids, we have to be a bit creative and you
Yeah.
have to make the classes a bit engaging for them,
Mhm.
and they'll learn vocabulary naturally,
Mhm.
right?
That's right.
Or you can take a help of visuals, flashcards, right?
Okay.
So that they could
Mhm.
see and learn immediately, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you have to keep on revising after a certain period of time.
Yeah, that's a great idea you have given me. I think you have given me three of what you have said I have written down, and I'm sure I'm going to try them out. Sure, this time.
And storytelling.
Ah, that's right.
Storytelling. Kids
Mhm.
love stories, right? So
Yeah.
again, in storytelling also you have to inculcate that body gestures as well.
Mm, mm,
And that
mm, mm,
sounds like when you're talking about animals, so sometimes you have
mm.
to growl, right?
Correct, correct,
So
correct, correct, correct.
you have to inculcate
Mm,
everything that
mm.
kids like.
Yeah, right. I think, one thing that worked very well last time was normally we sing happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. I have replaced that with another birthday song. And so each time I go in there, we sing a different song, and the different song means that new song that we have learned. It's a very simple one. And then that makes the whole class even wait for this English class to happen. Why? Because
Hmm.
they get noticed. Those days, especially on Mondays when I go there, and if there are people who celebrate their birthdays, they would be called to come to the front and to stay there, and then um, to be made the center of attraction of the whole class. And then when we sing
Hmm.
this song, and they're very happy about that. One child even changed. He has changed his. He was such an introverted guy, and today his name, I think, Joshua.
Hmm.
Today, the teachers, they keep telling me every time that I go there, Joshua has changed his behavior pattern just because
Hmm.
of these English classes.
Right, right.
Because sometimes, getting noticed,
Hmm.
getting that was his aim. He wanted to be noticed and then to be
Yeah.
made. So every time, go there into the class. Hi, Joshua, come, stand here, let's
Hmm.
sing together. Hold him a
Hmm.
little bit closer to you, bring
Hmm.
him close to you, and then give him a pat on his shoulder and
Hmm.
simply call his name. That in itself is a big thing. So,
Right, I understand. I can resonate with it because
mm,
I've been the same way during my school
mhm,
days. I was so introverted, but then my teachers would always call my name, or even in
mhm,
examples, like when they give any kind of examples. In my
mhm,
college days, all in my college days also, like they
mm,
were my teacher was talking about some PhD or something, and they took my name, Dr. Sunita Bisht. I was Bisht
mm.
back then. So
Okay.
it was so proud moment for me that among many students she called my name. So that
Mhm,
acts as an encouragement, right?
mm, mm,
Motivation.
mm.
And then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
work even more to get noticed even more. You want to be, the same way in the eyes of that teacher, right? You
yeah,
don't want
yeah.
to lose out on that impression that, yes, this
Mhm,
teacher
mhm,
feels that
mhm,
I'm worth it. So you don't want to
mhm.
lose out that impression,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
That happens.
talking on that, I got lots of instances when I was working with another private school after coming away from the Maldives after the tsunami experience. We were looking for a job, and then with my wife and I, we got. Uh, she became the mathematics teacher, I as an English teacher, and also in charge of the hostels in a very renowned private school here in Kerala. And then there was a boy by the name, I was in 7C, there was a boy by the name Rahul. Rahul was somehow ostracized by the whole class. 32 students in 7C, all 32 of them kept him, what shall we say, did not want to mingle with him, to mix,
Mhm.
interact with him, and also he felt very lonely. And as a result, he would do certain funny things, you know. But then I gave a blanket rule. I said, I was their class teacher. Nobody would speak badly to Rahul. Nobody would blame him for anything. Nobody would accuse him for anything. Even if he steals something, you'll come and let me know. I will make sure that Rahul does, or Rahul, what shall we say, is given the right form of punishment or whatever it is, the right advice. And then from that day onwards, children they respected what I said, and just because of what I said, they considered Rahul. They looked at Rahul in a different way, and then they included Rahul rather than excluded him other times. They used to, unlike excluding him other times. Now, this boy, what happened was that his father, the best neurosurgeon in the school, I mean, in that hospital that he was working, mother, the best gynecologist. Now, the mother and the father came to me and said, Titus, thank you very much for giving that space to our son. You know why? Because he is staying with our grandparents, his grandparents, and he is not, we are not able to give him the time to be with him. And so we understand that. And probably what happened was that later on I had to come away from there. I went to the Republic of the Sultanate of Brunei Darussalam in 2007. 2007, by the end of the year, I got a call saying that Rahul was calling me. He got my number from somewhere, and then he said, Rahul, he said, Titus, sir, just call me every now and again, and I will be okay. I just want to listen to you. And then that was not all. What made me sad was that after about 3, 4, 5 months, he was diagnosed with cancer and he passed away time. See, I think students really they want to be appreciated.
Mhm.
Everyone wants to be appreciated. And then what you said is so true. I can resonate very well with what I myself and what you just now shared. Children, once they are recognized, you will see appreciated, recognized, given a pat on their shoulders. And then once again, once they become somebody from a nobody, then
Right.
their life changes for the better. It takes
Mhm.
a different turn altogether. I can still remember another person, Mardiana, a girl by name. I started youth leadership program, part of Toastmasters International Unit. I invited the Toastmasters to come to Brunei Darussalam Sports School where I was working, and then later I started this youth leadership program with their help. And Mardiana, one day, after when we were organizing a graduation program, she stood up on the stage and she said, "Today I am able to speak these many words before you, in front of you, and to you all, a crowd of 250 people." He said, "It's because of that guy at the back." No, it's very rewarding to be a teacher at the same time.
Mhm.
And at the same time, it is very, you can see children's progress. Their lives becomes way different.
Right.
Have you
So true.
have you come across
Mhm.
have you come across anything like this?
Mm-hmm. I would say being a teacher also, when I started
Yeah.
teaching beginners in English, so I
Hmm.
stumbled upon a guy,
Hmm.
and he happened to be from my own state. And I gave him around, I guess, 14 to 15 sessions.
mhm,
and then he got his job. I mainly trained him in interview related questions and answers and how to
mhm,
deal an interview,
mhm,
right? So he got selected, he got a very good hike as
mhm,
compared to his last salary. So he was so happy, and every now and then he would message me, "Thank you so much, I give all the credit to you." And I would
mhm,
feel like it was his hard work, not
mhm.
mine, right? I just
Yeah,
guided
yeah.
him, but still
Mhm,
he would give all the credit to me. So I feel so
mhm,
grateful that yes, he feels that I've made some change in his life.
mhm, mhm,
I have transformed his life.
mhm,
So it gives us a lot of contentment,
mhm,
being a teacher, right? And then
mhm,
you want to work even more harder for other people, to transform
mhm,
their life as well,
mhm,
right?
mhm, mhm. Yeah, Sunita, thank you so much for giving some suggestions as to how I can become a better teacher to my primary students. Okay,
Mhm.
now
I know
let me
you already know everything. You were just checking my speaking skills.
not that, no, nothing like that, man. Sunita, we don't stop learning. We keep learning
Uh-huh.
every time. And I believe in that. Even on this platform, so many times. For example, I have bought certain books just because the last book, the latest book that I have bought is this one. It is purely because of a suggestion that I got from one of my learners.
Okay.
So one thing, and it's helping me a lot actually. So
Mhm.
learning is never finished product. It is a continuous process. So I always keep learning from anybody, and particularly because I know you have been handling children like this. This is my first innings with these people. I never had a chance like this. I have taught only in higher classes, so handling them is a big thing. But at the same time, I feel happy that I am, what shall we say, I am an instrument of what shall we say, some seeds of English sown to them or English language sown in
Mhm.
their lives. And who knows, they might become big, big people later. You know, one thing, there used to be one primary school teacher who would bow to the whole class. Primary school teacher who would go to a
Mhm.
class instead of before waiting for good morning teacher, good afternoon teacher, good evening teacher, he would simply stand and he would bow as low as possible. And then somebody asked him, "Why do you do this? You are a teacher. Why do you bow to your students?" And he said, "There is an engineer there. I can see a doctor here. I can see a nurse here. I can see the
Mhm.
president there. I can see the prime minister here." And so these children are the future of our country. So, in the same way, that little bit that I go and do on every Monday morning, I consider it
Mhm.
as a big thing. Okay.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah. So, Nida, I think at some time when you spoke, you just spoke only this one, even more harder. I think
Mhm.
it comes in communication. When we communicate like this, there will be some little. Since last time you were so particular that Titus gave me some feedback. I'm giving you a feedback right now. Okay, so even more harder. We don't need to say that. Even harder. Even because no need to say
Okay,
hard.
even harder.
Even hard.
Mhm.
That's it.
Okay.
So apart from that, everything seems to be very fine. I like the pace with which you speak, right? This morning, somebody came to me, a learner, for a demo session, and he's just looking for this thing. He wants to get the correct intonation, the correct pause, the correct pacing. And then he obviously he speaks every part of his English is correct except this one. So he said, "This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for." Then I added something more. I said, "You better also go for complex sentences, and then you go for a lot of idioms, maybe a collection of 100 idioms, and then also go for advanced vocabulary." That is what I gave him by way of my suggestions to him. Because sometimes we have learners who come just to find out whether I